Many games it's just like fleecing you for. They copied the. They copied the Hearthstone model where you just like dump money in endlessly and never get anything back out. I don't watch YouTube, so I respect your decision. I don't understand. What's wrong with YouTube? So, Wizards of the Coast did sue Hex, and Wizards of the Coast send cease and desist letters to smaller companies all the time. Like, they sent it to, actually, they sent it to individuals, too. Large companies use lawyers to bully smaller companies to keep them out of the same market that they're in all of the time. The only reason Wizards of the Coast hasn't bullied other companies like Bethesda is because those companies have more money than they do. If you can't innovate, you need to litigate to stop the people that are going to be able to innovate to put you in the ground. It's just good business, right? Like, you could either improve your product to be better than the competition, or you could try and sue them into not being able to make their product anymore. All right, so opponent's playing Uzu, so it's probably Mono Sapphire. I'm gonna weave into nothing here. It's usually pretty good. So, whoa. Almost auto patch without playing a resource there. So when I play this resource, I get the choice of Fate Weaving, which I don't really need another resource in my hand right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a non-resource on top of my deck. Fate Weave kind of lets me reduce variance by stacking my deck for things that I want to draw. It helps reduce how often you flood or screw. This matchup is probably a little bit hard for this card configuration of the deck. I don't have any Pride's Falls in my 75. So this card's a 1/4 that every time it readies, which is untapping, it creates 2 1/1 with speed for the turn. Yeah, Warp Steel's fine. Nice Thunderfield Seer out, which prophecies onto my deck. Weave that? No, I want to weave their payoff, Burgle. I want to weave their payoff. Like, they could just kill us next turn if I weave this. If I weave this and then they do this, like, they could put, like, prompt into a bunch of stuff. Wait, what? Why are there Thunderfield Seers in their deck? That's weird. We're kind of just dying here, though, too, is the thing. No, Hex does not have a creature limit on the board. It's not just copying Hearthstone like everything else. You could respond to things. There's no unit limit to how many things you could have in play. Yeah, now go ahead and Runebind this. If I Runebind this, that means I could weave it next turn, which I think is fine. So Runebind kind of puts a card. The Runebind kind of puts a card in a stasis. A stasis lock. So this stays off to the side as this constant until my opponent draws until they draw a resource. That's the word I'm searching for. Another Transmogrifade. Yeah, Mogging Skittering's probably fine. Yeah, that's a good idea. We could maybe hit a resource here. Nope, never a resource. It was a Tribunal Magistrate. So I interrupted their card, and this gives me Fate Weave, so I'm going to stack a resource on top of my deck here. Turn their Alarm-O-Matic into a 4/2. And we're guaranteed drawing a resource here, right? So I get to go ahead and play this. and stack another resource on top of my deck here. And I'm going to go ahead and play the Silver Talon Adjudicator. The Silver Talon says, when it comes into play, if they have more life than me, I gain 5. And if they have more cards in hand than me, I draw 2 cards. That's unfortunate. They transmogged their own thing, that their transmog draws a card. All right. I think they transmogged expecting to have less cards in hand than me, and then they didn't realize that drew a card. Yep, they're commenting that they said, what the fuck? I'm assuming that they missed that their card was prophesized. Don't play full art cards in your prophecy deck. Just don't do it. Turn their 4-2 into a 3-3. Deal. Still trades with my Adjudicator. All right, let's go ahead and Fate Weave a non-resource to the top of my deck, and then we'll play this Thunderfield Seer out here and modify it to draw a card, hopefully, if it's an action. Yeah, it has a lot of back and forth. Actually, I didn't mention the best thing about Hex. So, because Hex is a fully digital game, it uses the digital design space to reduce variance that games like Magic and Hex tend to have in a lot of ways. So, the biggest thing that they do is Hex's opening hands aren't completely random like they are in Magic. Hex uses a modified hypergeometric distribution to modify the sets of opening hands that the game can generate. And basically what that means is they remove the 10% most resource light hands and 5% most resource dense hands from happening in the game. So basically everyone mulligans 15% less in Hex. Empress of Ice is fine. So this card says whatever they gain. They did that in kind of I wonder if they have a weave in their hand. This card says whenever they gain a Sapphire threshold, it exhausts something, and that they have 5 or more Sapphire thresholds, my things don't unexhaust. I'll block here. They probably have board cards ace like we did once upon a time. This Transmogrifade draws a card, so let's do that. They're denying this. That's annoying. Just transmog it again. Now I'm going to get to play this Eldurathan's Glory out here, which is just going to void all their stuff. So Eldurathan's Glory is a 5/5 for 5. That when it comes into play, it voids all troops with defense 3 or less. And everything in play currently has 3 or less defense. So we'll go ahead and we'll put this into play here. Hopefully if they don't interrupt it, they didn't. So now I have a 5/5 and they have nothing. Yeah, the attacking and blocking combat style system is definitely one of the appeals of a game like this. It really allows for more, a little bit more back and forth in strategy, I think. So Copycat is a card that doesn't cost them any resources to play out, but it requires they've played 5 blue resources, and it copies a troop when it comes into play. So they now also have a 5/5. I'm gonna play this. So Psychic Ascension is one of the finishers in this control deck. When I play this out, it's going to transform my champion into a new champion. So you can see my portrait change down here. And now my champion power, instead of making an Oracle Song, creates a random action. And whenever I play an action, I generate a random troop. So basically, I'm playing Momir Vig, and my opponent is still playing a normal game of Hex. So we're pretty far ahead at this point. My opponent's gonna have to get pretty lucky to steal this game. Okay. Sure, probably a good start. They can keep Empress in play, they can lock us out. But thankfully I've got plenty of removal here. I'm gonna start by generating a random action here, see what we get. Tackling Trance is okay, it answers the Eldurathan's Glory. Dark Heart is excellent. So Dark Heart says, at the beginning of each player's turn, they sacrifice a non-socketed card they control. A socketed card is a customizable hex card. And what that means is like, so this card's socketed, so Dark Heart could never make you sacrifice itself. The customizations I have in here are that it has -1 cost, or I believe this costs 5, and it has +2 defense. So my opponent's exhausting 2 of our things here. They're gonna attack us with both of these. And then end of turn, I'm gonna go ahead and Into the Unknown this, and what that does is it picks the card back up into my opponent's hand, and then it makes them, it transforms it into a different Sapphire card, and then all other copies of Empress in their deck also transform into different Sapphire cards. So I have to sacrifice a non-socketed card here as well. So my opponent has no more Empress of Ice left in their deck. I'm gonna go ahead and attack them with these 2. And this is stun from when my spider came into play, so I'll pass. They'll have to sacrifice their last Empress of Ice and play to my Dark Heart. Flight, sure. Opponent packs it in. Clash of Steel's pretty good in this matchup. It's basically like just Clash, right? I really don't have a lot of cards that are great in this matchup. Well, Eldurathan's Glory isn't very good, but I really don't have better things to bring in. Into the Unknown is fine, I guess. I guess I leave in a couple of Glories just to have ways to kill them. Yeah, I really don't like Dread, and there's a lot of times when you play Dreaded and then they untap and kill you. Thunderfield Seer actually seems kind of bad, because like they have interrupts in their deck too, so like getting the thing that you put the cantrip onto interrupted feels really terrible. I'm gonna do that, leave all these in and bring in the extra weaves. Let's do that. It's okay. It's missing a diamond threshold, but the Sapphire Ice gets to Fate Weave, a guaranteed resource to the top of my deck. So hopefully this will Fate Weave a diamond for us. And even if it doesn't, like, we're guaranteed gonna have 3, so we can weave and Into the Unknown this game. Until we find. That's fair, Burgle, especially if I'm boarding up all the weaves. Ding. Okay, now I can guidance for another resource here, just like make sure I hit all my shard drops on time. Yeah, Fate Weave, it's just such an elegant design. It's a simple, elegant design that's just like not all of your digital mechanics have to like involve the word random a whole bunch, right? So, Lanupaw Sight lets them draw a bunch of cards. That's an easy counter for us. I'm gonna put another resource on top of my deck here, I think. Just want to like keep hitting those resource drops. Focus. The Unknown's pretty good in this matchup. Pick up another one of those. The Librarian. Non-resource on top of my deck now. An interesting splash. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, it's fairly easy to explain. Or it just has nothing going on. They could just have a bunch of threats that die to Darkheart, right? I'm gonna play this because it'll draw cards. It would have gained me life if I would have not attacked first. Thoughts on Elder Scrolls Legends? The gameplay in Elder Scrolls Legends seems reasonable. The fact that I would have to spend like $500 on the game in order to build a competitive deck is miserable. Like, really miserable. Like, I looked into it, so like, I started having like community run cash events for Test Legends. I was like, all right, cut the bullshit. I don't want to grind. Like, how much money do I need to put into this game in order to have competitive decks to play the community cash events? And they were like, it's like $500 to build the 3 decks you'd need to play the community cash events. It's like, I'm not putting $500 into a CCG. Like, the amount of things I could buy for $500 is just like kind of unreasonable. There's no reason to attack here because my opponent's gonna have to sacrifice this to my Dark Hearts anyways. It's like the same issue as every CCG basically. Like there's like these things and they're like like the gameplay is reasonable, but at the same time, yep. Play out Dark Heart to avoid into the unknown is exactly correct. Oh look, my opponent's trying to out Dark Heart us. This usually doesn't end well for our opponents. Trying to out Dark Heart us is... They could outdraw us though. Yeah, they played a Librarian out of the board, I assume. When they played the Well of Cunning game 1 and just immediately gained a Sapphire, I figured it was for a reserve card. That's exactly what it looks like. I mean, it doesn't even really stall the game when ours are 4/6s and theirs are 4/4s. Could I have Transmog plus drawn cards there? Yeah, I probably could have, right? But it's not even just about TCGs. The opportunity cost of playing collectible card games is high, because like, yeah, it's the fact that like I'm locked into the cards that I buy or I have to like grind them down. Yeah, it's not enjoyable to me. And I don't want to grind. Like, I'm an adult that has like money and responsibility, so I would much rather spend some money in order to have the cards I need than like spend infinite time to have the cards I need. I definitely agree with Burgle. I should have transmogged plus played Silvertail Adjudicator last turn. That's 10 out of 10 what should have happened. Are we thinking about denying this? Or we're transmogging one of mine? Sure. I'm gonna send this back to their hand, and the reason why I'm doing this is I want to draw with the Silvertail Adjudicator. Honestly, I genuinely don't have time for another paper game. Like, when I play paper games, I just like play regular board games these days with my friends and my wife, so... I did kickstart Epic Digital, and when Epic Digital has all of their cards in their digital client, I'm 10 out of 10 going to be checking that out. Alright, I gave him a Cage Bomb to kill my Darkheart. And what does this do? Whenever you play a card with cost 7 or greater, it goes back in their hand? Sure. This means I get to Ascend, though, which probably means I win the game. This matchup's probably bad. Proceed to 2-0 them. Crackling Tide's actually pretty good, just to put my Adjudicator back in my hand. So Clash of Steel says we each pick one card and all the rest of them go away. So they're gonna keep their Tribunal Magistrate probably. If they keep the Magistrate, we'll just pick it up with Into the Unknown. We're gonna keep our Silver Talon Adjudicator here, obviously. Alright, they are pretty dead here. Hitting a spider is pretty good for them, so I can do this for a resource. Oh, I should have battled him first, right? Technically missed 2 card draws there. I got to battle him, the Adjudicator, but I missed 2 card draws. Maybe we're just supposed to Into the Unknown this? I don't know. Into the Unknowning that into like a Rylan sounds really bad. It's also possible just supposed to Glory so I can block this. Yeah, this would have gone away to Glory. Sweet. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Let's go. We play a lot of different stuff. Clank is a popular one that we play a lot. Where's some other ones? We just picked up some good ones at Gen Con this year. Centuries, Spice Road, Golem Edition. Evolution was another good one. What other games we play? There's a Kickstarter game that my wife picked up called Sagrada that's really good. Oh, Happy Pigs. We play a lot of Happy Pigs by ILO games. We've not played the space version. I'm really not a fan of space themes, but the dynamic board seems interesting. You didn't know there's Space Clank, Burgle? I have both. We bought they were actually sold out of the base set, so we bought a box that had climates and the base game in it together. I haven't actually played the climates variation. We played the base version at Gen Con a little bit. A trading card game or a Netrunner are fine. Just the regular CCGs are miserable. I don't want to vomit a whole bunch of money into something that I could never get it back out of. I want to be able to get the deck list that I want by either filling a shopping cart or buying a complete box set, right? Like, it's so miserable. Yeah, I'm playing Diamond Sapphire Control on Saturday in the bash, or in the Cosmic Crown Showdown. So we're probably gonna play more Sapphire Diamond Control tomorrow as well. King of Tokyo, that was designed by Richard Garfield, right? One of our buddies bought Ex Libris, so honestly, we demoed a bunch of Renegade games, and you can tell that Clank was designed by Direwolf Digital, because Clank is great and like a fun game. Every other Renegade game that we demoed at Gen Con was just miserable. It was not a good time. It was funny. This was our second year at Gen Con, and we demoed a lot more things this year than I demoed last year. And the thing I realized this year is that there are a lot of really bad board games out there, like actively terrible. Like we'd get like one or two turns into some of these games and it'd be like, this is awful, right? And my wife would be like, yeah, it's like, all right, let's go. I don't genuinely have a preference between the two, Keeper Boy. As someone who just wants to play games competitively, they're functionally the same to me. Neither of those two hinder me from playing the games competitively. I want to not be hindered from playing my game competitively by whatever system you have created to distribute your cards through, and a collectible card game actively hinders me from being able to play games competitively without vomiting an insane amount of money. Like a TCG, I don't mind spending a couple $100s on a deck for a TCG because I can sell it back out. The cards have real value. All right, I'm gonna run and get Declan a snack really quick, and don't go anywhere. We're gonna play a couple more matches with this Hex deck to call the day. Yep, there's a bash every weekend. Bash every single weekend. I do wish someone had made what I think is a good suggestion on the forums, which is I wish they would switch the days of the bash and the clash and the weekend of the CCS, so that way I can play Hex Constructed 2 days in a row. So for those that are unfamiliar, the Hex Bash is an open entry $1,000 cash tournament that happens every single weekend at a $7 entry fee. And the CCS, the Cosmic Crown Showdown, is an invite-only $5,000 cash tournament that at the end of every ladder season, the top 64 players on each side of their ladder, limited and constructed, get invited to this Cosmic Crown Showdown. It's a qualifying tournament that'll have up to 128 players, and usually there's a little bit less than that because some people qualify but don't actually end up playing. Usually there's like 115 players or so. Always 7 rounds or less, which is nice. I can't tell you the last time I played a 7-round Magic 5K. The CCS is standard constructed for the Swiss rounds, and then it's draft for the top 8. Tournaments like the Bash and the Clash and the CCS aren't about breaking even or making money on entry fees. They are about advertising for your games and giving your players a reason to spend money and practice and play your game. Did you know, for the Magic players in the audience, that Wizards of the Coast pays out the money for Grand Prix but doesn't take in any of the entry fees? Because that's how advertising works. Grand Prix are their advertising for their games. So this is illuminating, so it's going to make a 1/1 here. And use a glory. Honestly, I hope they restructure the CCS a little bit, especially now that they're starting to have like some official coverage type stuff, because having the single elimination rounds of your premier tournament being limited is not ideal. The single elimination portions of the CCS should be constructed. And if they don't want it to be constructed, then, or if they want limited to still be part of the tournament, they should put like 3 rounds of limited as like the last 3 rounds of Swiss or the first 3 rounds of Swiss or something. The Furiko deck feels competitive, and Diamond Sapphire Control has been very popular lately. Honestly, if I'm being selfish, I just wish the Bash didn't have any limited at all, because I'm not a person that plays limited. But I do think the top 8 should be constructed because players are more invested in things that are constructed. A 1/1. So this can illuminate, and what illuminate does is it either makes a new candle equal to the number they have, or it gives all their existing candles +1/+1. So they're probably going to turn these into 2/2s here. Sabertooth. I'm going to Runebind my bird. No, that's not worth it. That's fine. I'll just take that hit. Whatever tournament. You know what I'm talking about. I'm taking 7 here, or I'm taking 6. Okay, so I'm dead in 3 more after this. It depends on what you want out of it. If you wanted to do separate ones, that'd be fine too, if they have the budget for that. You could probably also construct a reasonable argument that, like, with the open entry tournaments that they have every single weekend now, like, maybe they don't need, and like, once we get Cosmic Coins into the mix, once they have Cosmic Coins, which are another incentive, we're going to be another incentive for playing constructed at the top of the ladder later in the season. Like, honestly, we might just want, like, to restructure how their organized play works entirely, right? entry-level price tag on the game. So I keep a list of budget Hex decks here. The two cheapest of them are about 20 bucks. The Constructed Ladder and Hex is completely free to play. So if you pick up one of those decks, you can play it as much as you want on the ladder for just the price of the deck. The competitive decks, like the tier 1 decks in this game, like this control deck I'm playing is about $150. It's one of the more expensive ones. The tier 1 aggressive decks are about $80 or $90 to build outright. There's different budget configurations for all of those, obviously, to cut the price of some expensive cards here and there. I'm gonna guidance for a glory, hopefully. Nope, I'm gonna focus for a glory. I have 3 of them. Ding, so glory's gonna void their entire board. They are gonna get to consult here at some point, but we have glory to the Hypnotoad here, so just clean these candles right on up. We're mostly adults here. I say words far worse than damn on stream all the time. Alright, so they hit right away, but that's fine. The fact that we cleaned their board up probably means that we're gonna win this game. Do this. Hit this. Draw a couple more cards. My champion power lets me draw some cards in the mid game here. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have played that resource, right? Because like now I drew a slow shard. So that was technically a missed sequence on my part. For MTG like organized tournaments, the limited. Oh, what are the entry fees like for MTG organized tournaments? So the official Wizards of the Coast tournaments Grand Prix are like somewhere between $80 and $100 per tournament, and the independent series that's not Wizards of the Coast, so the Star City Games Tour, their tournaments are like a $50 entry fee. I haven't paid less than $30 for a 1K in like years, like since I started playing, basically. Alright, so transmog this llama herder at end step. Psychic Ascension's probably going to bury them. It's like, where did this field medic come from? Oh, I forgot about that. I was like, I don't want to copy my Moonglow Warden, but yeah, I could copy this with this, so that it'll revert back to the 5/5. Yeah, good call. Good call. So should have done this. I'm gonna take 2 extra points of damage here instead, baby boar. Play this out, gain some life. Give this. I'm going to target this, which actually gives me a 5/5 flyer, because this is going to revert this. And now this will be still targeting this when it turns back into a 5/5. Yep. Now I have a 5/5 Steadfast. We're into the unknowing this again, sure. Play a side which buries 3 cards off their deck. Unchecked Scion versus PA is actually kind of interesting. Like both of our card decks are doing strong things. The difference is I could draw an answer to their Scion. They likely can't draw an answer. They can't draw an answer to my PA. Yep, so this says every time they play a non-resource card, they get to illuminate 1, which means these dorks are gonna get out of hand pretty quickly here. Yep. Artifacts in my bin? Or not? They attack with these I'm trading. That's really aggressive. I'm playing this just for the purpose of generating a 1/1 here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and trade off the 2 of these and then chump block the 3rd. I feel like they'd want to build these up a little bit more so they can just basically start putting me under the abyss. Let's gives it flight. Just gonna pass the turn here. With only a single candle threatening, we should be able to generate more than enough troops to keep that at bay. Really waiting to draw like something to generate some card advantage here. A Dark Heart, Lanupaw Sight, something like that. Wow, Sabertooth is good. Well, he might be dead. Well then, so this has speed, and it got to illuminate this. I think I'm obligated to double and then chump. I guess I'm at 19. And probably I'm gonna double here. And then leave this for now. Take care of the thing that can grow. Okay. Resource isn't the greatest, but it hits there too, so I'm putting non-resource on top of my deck. This, see what we get. Get an action we can't actually cast. Play this, gain 1, pass the turn. So Inflict Doubt can only be played if we have more troops than our opponent. We don't have any glories in our deck, they Into the Unknown them. Like this was a glory. Dark Heart would be great and just completely hold down the board. Here you go, Fatty. No attack, deal. Runebind's okay. It'll hopefully help us generate a profitable combat step. Oh, huh. I might Runebind this, because it lets us revert it. Yep. See how they want to attack here. I'm surprised they didn't exhaust things to make this larger. Block. So I'm going to Runebind my own guy here so it doesn't get eaten by this. We literally played Magic this morning. We literally played Magic last night. If you don't believe me, check my YouTube page. Hey, look, most of the troops went away. It's good for us. Alright, suddenly very far ahead. Is this game 1? Feels like this is game 1. Yeah, this is really good. Means my glory can eat this primordial saber-tooth when they attack with it. Also, yes, I agree with that. Hex is better than Magic. We would have played Magic longer this morning if Magic Online hadn't bugged and lost me a match. I was planning to play Magic longer this morning, but, you know, when Magic Online bugs happen, they cost me money, so... I guess this is directly cost. It causes me frustration, though, because they'll refund my money, but it's still annoying. This doesn't time out? That's hilarious. That's awesome. Morning, PT. Flash is good, Dread End is good. Is Totem Trap good? They have Llama Herder. Sure, cards are bad. Is Thunderfield Seer not good enough? It really doesn't jump anything meaningfully. What are these other cards? Into the Unknown seems kind of medium. Let's do this. Let's see how this feels. Let's play Weaves. Let's play Weaves and Bounties. See, I need some resources in it, but we have a lot of card selection in our deck that we could hit to make that happen. But it has lots of really powerful cards. You would ship this hand? I'm gonna draw an ice and you can be quiet. Yeah, there we go. Burgle, did you consider being luckier at any point during your short career? I know you weren't lucky enough to beat Andrew with your Diamond Sapphire deck, but if you're luckier, you can keep hands like this. Yay! Weave into nothing. Creature report. Creature report. You come say hi to the internet, Declan? Hi, internet. Creature report. Creature report. Creature report. I'm so lucky they didn't have Gitaxian Probe there. Okay, so hopefully they give us something to weave here so that way we can Fate Weave a resource to the top of our deck. That's not Burgle, Bob. That's Peace Tinker. Or that's Peace Tinker. I just said all the wrong names. It's Bob, not Burgle. Burgle hasn't won shit. That's why we're making fun of him. I'm gonna weave this just so I can get a resource on top of my deck. Stop trying to bite me, you tiny piranha. Tiny piranha. Piranha person. How do we know one of their cards is Consult? Ow! Jerk! Jerk! Did you laugh at me, jerk? Oh, because they didn't attack with the 1/1? Because they were going to make 2 more 1/1s and then Consult? Yeah, they could just Consult here off of this. Good read. That's a good read. Hopefully they Consult here that I can Silver Talon Adjudicator. Alright. Now I want to hit a non-slow shard so we can glory away this llama herder. We did a non-slow shard here. It's better than bricking, I guess. Do I want to Runebind this? No, I don't really care, right? I have a glory. Glory to the Hypnotoad. Let's see if they can exhaust this some more, if they can take my Dark Heart out in some way. Yep, CCS is this weekend, the 9th. That's why we are playing all of the Diamond Sapphire control. Yep. They try and go wider on the Dark Heart, and then we kill them with the Glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Balmy breezes blowing through ya. You draw those cards, opponent. I guess I could have runebound that. If I runebound that, then this Eldurathan's Glory would clear, and then the Dark Heart would make them sacrifice that. Maybe that's correct. Huh. The hero with the hero power, right? God, this Glory is about to be savage. Glory be to the Hypnotoad! Glory be to the Hypnotoad! Am I okay with this? I don't think I'm okay with this, actually. I'm just gonna Runebind this. I don't need to hit resources. There's a resource on top of my deck, Burgle. Get out of here. Get lucky. You weren't planning to rebuild, were you? Off that Consult and that board? Go wider on this Dark Heart? Stop biting me. Glory is very, very good. Oh, they don't want to play Hex anymore. That's so weird. Am I gonna have my Cosmic Plinth before the weekend? One-sided board wipes feel great. They're more than good. It's great. Yeah, Puppy Goot! Puppy Goot! This hand is great. Hand is insane. It's got the Dark Heartly. Dear Hex, please put a resource on top of my decks. Yay, Fate Weave. No biting. We gotta nip this in the bud before you go to preschool in a couple of years. Yeah, a couple of years. Think we could break you of biting before then? Send help! Send help! There's a demon! Does anyone know any good exorcisms? Wakuna coin. Wakuna coin, you say? Wakuna Matata, do do do. What a wonderful phrase. It's a worry-free philosophy. Wakuna Matata, Wakuna Matata, Wakuna Matata. Stop biting my leg. Tiny demonic offspring. Right, running Dark Heart's probably going to be pretty good. We'll weave whatever they play this turn and then slam a Dark Heart next turn.
Hi, guys.
Keep their board pretty clean. They could champ power into Twilight Archon. Vesper. Yeah, that one's fine. That's fine. That one is not fine. Glad we waited. Babies are basically dreadlings. You're not wrong. What an elegant way to put it. I'm glad we were conservative with the weave. Play this, pass back. If they don't have removal for this, this game is going to be over. If they have Decree of Banishing instead of Hero Fall, we could be okay. If they have Hero Fall, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Need the top of our deck to be good. That's really unfortunate. Think I got a chump block here. We still haven't drawn our Prophesize card yet. Alright, hopefully this finds its Prophesize card. Definitely the type of card that can pull us back into the game. Missing our Shard drop feels really bad, though. At least opponent missed their fourth, so... Our deck has more selection in it, though. For fuck's sake. Tilt. Alright. Stack a non-resource on top at this point. Probably gonna transmog this one in attacks. Get out from under my desk, turd. probably gonna need to Runebind that Twilight Eclipse. Yep, Aerofall is very good in this matchup for sure. And I don't have any clashes in my main deck, so like we could be in trouble here. Like I don't have Adjudicators left to gain life with. Glory is actually one of our better draws that allows us to just clock them. I do have a couple Into the Unknowns that can deal with this Twilight Eclipse, but that's about it. Blackheart Paladin. This reduces damage that's only dealt to you. Okay. So probably going to be able to ascend next turn. We'll see whether or not that's fast enough. Well, obviously, it clocks them versus these two, though. Alright, we get to ascend next turn, and we get to draw a bunch of cards. Sure, you have a Vesper. Maybe this PA plus drawing a mountain of cards here is going to be able to pull us through. Alright, maybe not. I need to answer this too now. Alright, that answers that. Draw a couple cards. I think I want to save this for after. No, let's just keep looking. Huh. Guidance or Into the Unknown? I think I'm actually going to take the Guidance here since it's prophesized there aren't that many cards in my deck. Now I'm going to just sit tight. I'm going to Psychic Ascent next turn and then start generating troops. And we know they have a Shard now. We're taking 2 a turn here, so we have 6 turns to try and kill them. I can Runebind this again. They probably put a non-resource on top of their deck here, so that's good for us. Jump here. Let's ascend. Get this. Probably want to make sure I hit a resource this turn. That's really good. Actually, that's really good. Destroy target constant. I would like to destroy that one, please. This is the type of card that could definitely let us race. I'm really glad we saved that Guidance for post Psychic Ascension now. I think I actually just need to generate a bunch of troops here. I'm gonna attack with this. I'm gonna go ahead and Runebind this. Target you. No, that's not how that works, Tom. It doesn't actually do that. In fact, I'm going to do it right here, right now, and show you. So non-zero chance we can kill my opponent on the following turn. Radiant Physician, sure. They can't actually kill either of these, right? They target that and I shift it away. Get rid of that. Exhaust. Troop by control. Some attack with these two. They're going to go to 15. They're going to go back up to 17. Then next turn I'm attacking for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. They got a Miss Lord of their own. That's so funny. Yeah, right? Like, Hex just generates... Grow, my pretties, grow! Oh, the clam bakes. Yeah, Hex generates a lot of back and forth, really interesting games. All right, anywho, Clash of Steel in, into the Unknown in, Weave in. Do I want Confounding Ire in this matchup? Basically, all their cards that matter are blood, right? Glory isn't very good. Silver Talon's kind of medium. Thunderfield Seer's kind of medium. Maybe I just cut all of these and go with the bounties again. As I'm bringing in a bunch of Weaves. All right, so this match is actually going to be my last because I have to be ready to get Jake off of the bus when he gets home from school here in a little bit, so... This has a little medium. It's resources though. Has some powerful cards. Needs to hit a couple of Sapphire, but like I've got what, 3 Fate Weaves plus regular draw step. Dark Heart's pretty powerful in this matchup. Tilt. Hopefully we put a Sapphire on top here, and then we Guidance into another Sapphire, so we go up Weave / Bounty on 3. Slow shard on 2 is decent for us. Vesper. Do you believe in Sapphire? Oh ho. Yes I do. Yes I do. I believe in Sapphire. Oh ho. Yes I do. Yes I do. Ring a ding ding da ding da ding 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 bing a ding ding da ding da ding 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 ring a ding ding da ding da ding 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 bing bing a ding ding da ding da ding 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 a ding ding da ding da ding 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 ding. Okay, so if they go Nightfall, Champ Power, and a Twilight Revenant here, we're gonna be in trouble. But I think outside of that, we're gonna be okay. I guess Radiant Fish is pretty good. If they add more threats to the board this turn, we could get into trouble. Transmog's a great pickup too. This is sweet. Now I can transmog this plus hold up weave this turn. And then I actually, if we draw a non-slow shard next turn, I could Dark Heart plus Runebind up to protect it. I'm gonna put a resource on top of my deck here. Transmog this. Ding. Non-slow shard, ding. Dark Heart out. They have to sacrifice something. They go to Hero Fall this, I get to Runebind it in response, and then with this Ice plus this Arcane Focus, I can guarantee it comes back into play again next turn. Dark of Night, same thing. Always Runebind your Dark Heart, unless they don't have anything else in play, because now their thing resolves. They get a Nightfall, but like I'm gonna get to Fate Weave a resource to the top of my deck here, so I guaranteed put my Dark Heart back into play this turn. So they have to sacrifice something again. I mean, that's basically what my Turbo PA deck is, Show. The Turbo PA deck was basically built with that idea in mind. We have a Weave plus a Runebind here. It's just like pretty far ahead. You think that's fine. I don't really care about that. Kree of Banishing. Yeah, I'm going to Weave that one. Non-resource on top of my deck. That's kind of scary. Looking for a Clash of Steel. Get three looks at it. Oh, I should have Fate Weaved. 10 out of 10 should have done that first. Probably didn't matter. We hit one non-resource anyways. Am I just passing here? I think I'm just passing. I probably want to Runebind this before it hits me. I want to preserve my life total a little bit. I don't want to Runebind it now because then the Radiant Physician will trigger. Let them draw an extra card. Like, something worth noting here too is that like my opponents had 4 resources and all gas this game. Like, we're still pretty far into it. Our next Bounty of the Magus is drawing 3 cards, which is kind of insane. They go to kill this, we'll need to weave whatever they do. I think I need to weave that. I think I need to weave that. It means I'm gonna take a hit from this Twilight Archon, but I think that's okay. So we're going to 8. This is gonna put us to 7. We need to find an answer this turn. I guess we have a delay, right? Guidance. All right. Not guaranteed, Tom. Like, right, we'd have had to draw through, like, we haven't drawn any other troops. Like, we might be up, like, 1 card right now, but we haven't actually drawn an extra troop yet. Oh, should have done this first. Should have done that first. Huh. I'm actually going to put a resource on top of my deck here because I have this Bounty of the Magus in my hand. I think I just have to let that happen. Thinking into the unknown that next turn. Runebind to the Stork. That's not that bad. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. Gonna be especially fine when we draw Clash of Steel, but I think we're okay either way. The Runebind, yeah, send me up. Card is so much worse than Guidance, it's unreal. Physician says when you play a card, I should Guidance first here. Do not turn my power strip off, Tiny Demon. This is Dad's last match, then we'll go upstairs and play, dude. Yep, I agree. I think we are pretty firmly ahead at this point. Dude. I get it. You're tilted. We get to play a second Dark Heart here. This Runebind deals with this Canyon Runner. I could hold on to this Adjudicator to like try and draw cards, but it's pretty unlikely that it's going to do that, so I'm just going to play it out to game 5 here. Just so like nothing goes sideways by mistake. They have to sacrifice Radiant Physician and their Mysterious Rune here. Okay. Okay. Jump block with my 3/2. We'll let them sacrifice both. We won't attack next turn. We'll let them sacrifice both of these. Then we'll play Runebind out of our hand. To Runebind this so it doesn't. Or we could just do this and then Runebind this now. And then they'll have no board. But how about that one? How about if I do that? And now you have no board. Sack some stuff, friend. Friendo. Oh, he'd have technically lost 3, right? No, because you have to pay 6. So my opponent's champion power creates a constant that gains them a life every single turn. Oh yeah, because they don't have to pay life, so they're just gonna have to sacrifice. No, yeah, I'm right. No attacking is right. Ow. You're a little piranha, you know that? A tiny cannibal toddler. Alright, still a 2-turn clock, opponent. I guess they could draw another removal spell to get an extra turn out of it. They could just like draw running removal and we could draw bricks. That being said, like there's only so many bricks in our deck, right? Because I'm only one charge away from the coveted second Dreaming Fox activation now. So even if they find the answer to this dark card and I draw a brick, I'm gonna then get 2 redraws. Yeah, GG's opponent. All right, that's gonna go ahead and wrap the stream for the morning. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I'll be back on tomorrow. I'm still getting used to the new schedule. I think tomorrow morning is all Hex. Yeah, tomorrow morning I'm gonna be on about 8:30. It's gonna be solid 3-hour block of all Hex Shards of Fate Hex TCG. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I will catch you all around later. Peace.